very relaxing night. It was super quiet, no wind for a change. A good cook yesterday. And yeah, now we're heading back to the main road and we'll venture into Nouakchott, the capital city of Mauritania, which is supposed to be an absolute mess. It's about 1.5 hours ride from here, and for now it's just beautiful off-roading with high speeds. So we're making it to Nouakchott and it's already getting quite busy. It's a big mess here basically because a big part of the Mauritanian population lives in this one city, even though the country is absolutely huge. Many slums, a lot of infrastructure, but for here the road is quite fine. But still about 9 kilometers to the center and it's already getting quite full. So yeah, let's see how that'll go. Okay, made it to Nouakchott and it's an absolute mess. I mean, look at it. It's basically what we kind of expected, but you can never really, estimate stuff before really experiencing it. Trash, cars, somebody selling some food next to us. Okay guys, I'm Nouakchott and it's absolutely crazy here. But if you think there's no nature here, we have nature here. Hello cow. No idea what this is going on here. It's absolutely dirty, smelly, full of trash. There's some old Mercedes behind me because I like old Mercedes here. Nouakchott, capital of Mauritania. Well, as amazing as expected. Very authentic vibe down here. And here, I'm a friend. The motorbike is overheating a bit. So we're waiting a bit for it to cool down. It should be fine. Yeah, driving from Nouakchott is definitely a challenge. Absolute mess. Animals on the street, people on the street, big mess. So we're escaping Nouakchott because we saw enough. That was a very interesting experience. But it's also kind of warm and busy and dirty and full of people. And Leon's motorbike has a small problem. It overheats if you don't drive fast enough. So we're driving towards Senegal now. We started a small quest to find some fuel, which wasn't so easy because in most petrol stations they only had diesel and no petrol. And then we also don't have local currency, and we had to find one that gave us a good rate with our euros that they accepted at some point. And yeah. Anyway, we made it. Tanks are full. And we're heading towards the Senegalese border, which is supposed to be an absolute huge mess. It won't pass today, but we'll just get out of the city a bit and find a spot for a break and then orientate ourselves as good as possible since we don't have internet for a few days already. So it's only 4 in the afternoon, but we decided not to enter Senegal today, which is about 2.5 hours drive from here and a very long and strenuous border experience probably. And since last time we crossed at night into Mauritania from Morocco, we decided this time we'll do it relaxed and have a nice early camp at the seaside. Hopefully that's where we're heading right now, and enter into Senegal tomorrow. Mauritania is supposed to be rather dangerous, but so far we had quite good experiences sleeping somewhere in nature, heading down some tracks, and now the seaside is not too far away. So we're arriving at the sea right now. Our camping spot is somewhere here maybe. Let's have a look. I guess this is where the road ends because it gets sandy up front, but the view is absolutely perfect. Okay, so we had a nice quiet camp at the beach. It was very relaxed, not too windy. A few locals came by who gave us some fish that they found. I think the only fish they caught they gave to us, but they were quite small. They said not very good themselves. Yeah, camping here actually feels quite okay so far. One doesn't have the best reputation here in this country, but so far it's good. Feels quite safe. Right now I'm standing waiting for police control. We're getting waved in. So let's see if we get this on camera for a change. Because there are many police controls, I think we've been to 15 or so already. And normally they only want the fish. The fish is a small document with all the data of the passport and the vehicle on it. Yeah, let's check that out. Leon's turn. And my turn. It's funny they speak French here, but the accent is so strange, I often don't understand shit. Bonjour monsieur. Merci. Well, that was very easy, because normally you drive in the front, I have to explain them where we're going. But since Felix is at the front for a change, and he probably doesn't speak so much French and says, Dakar, let's go! They're like, okay, go for it. No questions, so maybe it's better not to speak the language. It's easier sometimes. And it's only a few moments later and there's the next control. Bonjour monsieur. Ça va bien, merci. Merci, au revoir. That was easy, once again, no questions, good journey. I don't know what they do with these papers, honestly, with all our data on them. They just gather them, I don't know. Today will be a long day. We will drive all the way to Senegal and cross the border. And the border between Mauritania and Senegal is a bit infamous for being a huge mess. Full of police officers asking for bribes. Yeah, so let's see how that goes. We'll probably spend all day long there. And in the meantime, I drove for about 1 kilometer. And there's the next police control point. At the same time, also the vegetation is changing a bit. It's getting a bit more green. There are trees around, combined with sand dunes. But it's quite nice for a change. Oi, that's another fish. Bonjour monsieur, ça va bien?
Ça va. Bon voyage.
Merci, au revoir. Many police control points. And off we go again until the next one. So we reached one of the larger settlements. I think it's one of the top 3 in size. People, houses, busy atmosphere. Trees. Good combination with the vegetation, definitely. Yeah, footage 2025 in Mauritania, one of the poorest countries in the world. Also one of the less safe ones. But once again, so far, we feel rather safe. It would be nice to get some stats on Mauritania, but we don't have any internet for 3 days already, since we didn't get a SIM card here. There's also basically almost never any network anyway. I mean, Edge, but I'm not sure if it actually works. 3G, 4G, almost never. So buying a SIM card would maybe make sense in capital, in Nouakchott, but we've been there for like 2 hours, so not really worth the hassle. And Wi-Fi also was not really on the way, and we were camping, so we're offline, which is a quite nice change for once. Also, Mauritania is one of the few countries in the world where slavery still exists. And actually quite a decent part of this population is enslaved, has no rights. Yeah, I'll put in the numbers right here. Many donkeys pulling carts, it's very normal here. You see them everywhere. Part of donkeys, of course, old Mercedes 190Ds are the vehicle of choice. Newer cars are often Toyota, like the one we see coming up front right now. And that's it. Didn't see any BMWs so far in the entire country. And we crossed it, almost. It's a very strange place, indeed. Okay, so as you can see, we're surrounded by savanna. And this is a special moment, because in this moment, I can realize that we crossed the Sahara Desert with Theodore. We made it. We are surrounded by some vegetation, not a lot. Of course, there's some camels to go with it. But it's not only sand, dust and some shrubs, but actually bushes. People, camels, shepherd, everybody there. Oh, the sturdy old BMW. We made it. Across the Sahara, It's not far to the Senegalese border anymore. I'm not quite sure how far, but about 30 kilometers, I think. There will be a challenge to cross. And then we'll make it slowly but surely into green Africa, which will be quite nice after all this arid, dry surroundings. The last small break before heading to the border to Senegal. Eating some nuts, some dates on that tree in the shadow. Already quite warm here, even though it's actually only morning. And then we hope that we can pass this border. It won't be easy, but Leon is ready to rumble.
Ready as ever.
There we go. We're crawling along this track that leads towards Diama border. And it's kind of crazy. I mean, there are two borders here. It's Rosso and Diama. And the Rosso has a very, very bad reputation, being one of the corruptest borders in the entire region. And that's a small boat going over the river. I don't know how it looks exactly. Here's a photo. And the other option is Diama, where we're heading right now. And you have to think, I mean, there's a bridge, so you might think there's a bigger road leading there. But no, I mean, this is how it looks here. This small track leading to the bridge, and that's one of the two border crossings from Mauritania to Senegal. Okay, listen to Rammstein, wearing some authentic clothing against the sun and optionally against the dust. Yeah, driving towards the Senegalese border on this absolutely shitty road already for over an hour. It doesn't end, it just goes on and on. But somehow it's fun, not too bad. I mean, look at it. It just goes on and on like this, forever. Okay guys, we left Mauritania, believe it or not. And now let's see how the entry to Senegal will be. It's no man's land, but there's surprisingly many people here. Straight ahead is the Senegalese border, and up to 250 euros we have to pay to get the cars into the country. Okay, so we made it to Senegal, believe it or not. It was quite a long process. I mean, basically we crossed the river on a bridge, paid a few euros for that, which is legit. And then, well, officially you need in Senegal a carnet de passage, which we don't have, but you can buy for 250 euros some other document, which is semi-official. So we got that, but in order to get that we had to wait for 3.5 hours or so, I think more, 4 hours. But it was quite relaxed. Basically we parked and cooked some food in the shade. Then the border guards invited us to have some of their food, which was very, very tasty and very friendly of them. So we ended up eating some food with them as well. Oh, now there's a cow passing, you have to be careful, a little cow. So 250 euros later, also got insurance for 30 euros for a month. We've got all these fancy documents here, and we can drive into Senegal. And directly the roads are completely different level than what we had in Mauritania. Nice tarmac. But now we're heading to the famous Zebra Bar, which is a camping bar, restaurant, whatever. And we'll just relax a bit there, because I think we all deserve that. A bit of civilization after Mauritania. Okay, we're a bit lost. We're standing here, drove a little path, and now we're ending at the river, and that's the border actually between... Oh yeah, called Coke from the fridge at the TDS. So it's the border river between Senegal and Mauritania. Mauritania is always getting us again, and we don't want to go there. No, we don't want to go there. So we have a small break here in the sunset, and then we'll head back along the track towards the Zebra Bar. Okay, today was a very long day, indeed. I mean, we woke up at the seaside in Mauritania, drove tarmac roads for, I don't know, an hour. Then we drove about 3 hours. Ja, fast da, 3 Minuten. Then we drove about 3 hours off-road.
Aber geil.
Felix likes off-road. Yeah. And now we're arriving at the legendary Zebra Bar, which is the Overlander hotspot. Ganz genau. 400 Meter. So Zebra Bar it is. I heard there's some cold beer waiting. We well deserve that. And it's only 400 meters to go after this long strenuous day. Oh, we had a nice camp at the seaside for a change. We have a fourth vehicle in our group now, a Forerunner, who's joining us for a few days. And we're actually reaching a very, very special point, because we are right close to Lac Rose, or Lac Rose, I'm not sure, which means basically Pink Lake. And Lac Rose is famous because the destination of the Dakar rally was next to the lake. And we're trying to find the destination of the Dakar rally right now. Driving through some villages, small roads. Google Maps doesn't really work well here. About 5 kilometers from here. So it's basically the last meters of Rally Dakar in the E34, driven all the way from Germany to the Chinese border, back to Germany, And now to Africa. So we made it to Lac Rose. Look at this view behind me. And the water is a bit different. It's like orange color or so, I'm not quite sure. Oops, maybe some creativity. Okay, we made it to the finish line. Unfortunately, some annoying locals were just annoying us all the time, almost stole my phone, so we didn't make many videos, so I just passed quickly. But it was nice to see Lac Rose, and now it's time for Dakar, which will be also a challenge because Dakar's traffic is infamous. And Dakar is a bit famous, but it'll be authentic, so let's go. So, arriving in Dakar city with some crazy slums along the way, and we were so busy driving we didn't even manage to film, sorry. But now it's quite relaxed, driving highway at the seaside towards Dakar city center, and we'll have a camp at the harbor. There's a small, not very beautiful campground, which is supposed to be one of the better ones, so let's go. Traffic is actually much better than expected. It's getting a bit more busy now, but it's still completely fine. And we still have 9 minutes to go to the camping spot, which is in the center. We are crossing the center actually right now. Okay guys, we're in Dakar in the city center. It's the Liberty Square. So very central, very busy, and we just extended our pass avant. That means that the car can stay in Senegal for another 15 days. Everybody's happy walking here. Hello Leon. Through Dakar. So thanks to Leon, we're good tourists doing touristy stuff, checking out the Renaissance monument, which is up here. And to get there, walking many stairs. Felix is having his magic drink with him, so he's fine, drinking his Coke. And yeah, it's pretty hot out here. So made it to the top, and behind me you can see the Atlantic Ocean. And it's quite crazy to think that this is the most western point of Africa, of the African continent. Yeah, only ocean from here on all the way to the United States, South America. Yeah, Dakar, Senegal.